Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing an Evil Twins Unchained deck profile. So I'm really excited to see you guys because this was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Jin. And this deck is a really amazing deck that combines two incredible archetypes together and make one really powerful deck. I love the synergy between Evil Twins and Unchained. They're both Link-based archetypes and both Fiend archetypes, which works really well together. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron along with test hands. And definitely give Jin some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this. This deck is a really amazing deck, and I really love the way that it plays because you're going to start off with the Unchained monsters. So we're going to start off with 3 copies of the Fire Twin. So this card is the best Unchained twin out of them all because it has the ability to target one card that you control. You can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except for Fiend monsters, but after you do target the card, you destroy the target, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. And if this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect except by another copy of itself or by battle, then you can special summon one Unchained monster from your hand or deck except another copy of itself, which is really amazing because just about every single one of your Unchained monsters and spells and traps will float into other Unchained cards, which is really good. We then play just 2 copies of the Water Twin. The Water Twin isn't quite as good as the Fire Twin because it can't special summon itself, but it is a quick effect to target one card you control and destroy it, and it does float into other cards if it is destroyed by battle or by card effect, which is really neat. We then play 2 copies of Sorama. Sorama is another Evil Twin or Unchained twin, which is kind of interesting that there's 3 twins, but it's still really good because it lets you target one of your Unchained cards in your graveyard and then set it to your field, and then you get to destroy one card that you control, which can be one of the spells or traps or one of the other twins, to be able to get another card out from the deck to special summon, which is really good. This card also floats into other Unchained monsters, which is really good. We then play 2 copies of one of the boss monsters in the deck, which is 2 copies of Abominable Unchained Soul. This card is incredible in this deck. It is a great boss monster. It's 3,000 attack points, 1,500 defense points, and super easy to summon to your side of the field. You can only special summon this card once per turn, and if a card you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is special summoned, you can discard a card and then destroy a card on the field, which it doesn't target, it just immediately destroys the card, which is really amazing. Because it also has the ability that once per turn during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field and sent there this turn, then you can special summon this card and place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field, which is a really good effect just to be able to special summon back a 3k attack point boss monster from the graveyard. So we then play just a single copy of Unchained Soul of Disasters. You don't want to play more than one of this card in this deck. It's a really good card to be able to link summon, but that's pretty much the only reason it's here. It is kind of like the link 1-ish of the deck, that you're going to be using this card plus another monster on your opponent's side of the field, which is the whole play of your Unchained monsters, is to use your opponent's monsters to link summon, but you can use this card and an opponent's monster to link summon into your copy of Unchained Soul of Rage, which is the main play with this card, but it also floats into other cards. We then play 3 copies of Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Kiss-a-Kill has the same exact effect as Lilla, but this card has the ability that each time your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can gain 500 life points, and if you normal summon or special summon this card to your side of the field and you control no other monsters, you can special summon a Lilla monster from your hand or deck, which Lilla has basically the same effect, but your opponent has to pay 500 life points to be able to declare an attack, which is the only difference between these 2 cards, is that your opponent actually has to pay attack or pay life points to attack, and they special summon one another, where if you summon out your copy of Kiss-a-Kill, you can special summon Lilla, and Lilla special summons Kiss-a-Kill, which is really cool. We then play just a single copy of Live Twins Kiss-a-Kill Frost. This card can special summon itself to your side of the field if you control a Lilla monster, which is really good, and if this card is in the graveyard, it has the ability that you can only special summon her once per turn, and then once per turn, if this card is added, or if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand by a card effect, except during the damage step, while you control an Evil Twins monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard, and then you get to draw a card, which is pretty good to be able to just get you additional draws in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. The 3 Ash Blossoms are here just to stop your opponent from touching the deck, which is very important. And then we play 3 copies of Effect Veiler, because the 3 copies of Effect Veiler are going to stop your opponent from activating monster effects during their main phase, which is really good to be able to shut down the opponent and give you additional negates and interruptions. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. For the spells, we're going to be playing some really incredible spells. We don't play that many in this deck, but we're going to start with one copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is here to just stop your opponent from hand trapping you, because your copies of your Kill and Lilla really do need to go off to be able to special summon each other from the deck, but they can still be stopped, and you can still go in with the Unchained monsters in this deck, but it does help if you have the Called by the Grave as a one-of in here to be able to stop your opponent from hand trapping you. We then play 3 copies of Abomination's Prison. Abomination's Prison is the searcher for the entire Unchained archetype. This card is absolutely crazy. It lets you add 1 Unchained card from your deck to your hand, and if the set card is destroyed by a card effect, then you can special summon an Unchained monster from the deck, which is a great effect just to give you an additional monster if this card does get popped on the field. We then play 3 copies of Secret Password. Secret Password is really good because it lets you add a Live Twins or an Evil Twin spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which we're always going to be searching out our copies of Sunny Snitch. Sunny Snitch is really good because when this card is activated, you get to add a Live Twins monster from your deck to your hand, which is really good, essentially giving us 12 of our copies of each Lilla, or 9 copies of Lilla and 9 copies of Kill, which is really good for this deck because you can use these to basically search. You can use this card to search your copy of your Sunny Snitch, and then Sunny Snitch will search either the copy of Lilla or the copy of Kill. So you're basically playing 9 copies of each of them. So you're always going to open up just about an opening hand with one of them, which is really cool. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing a single copy of Imperial Order because Imperial Order is a great card, and this deck can go without its spells. So this card hurts the opponent a lot more than it hurts us by locking down those spell cards. We play 3 copies of Escape of the Unchained. Escape of the Unchained is really good because it lets you target an Unchained monster you control and a card on the field, and you destroy them both, which, as you guys know, all of the Unchained cards float, so you can actually use this card very easily in the deck to basically scrap Dragon and get a float into another monster, which is really good. It also has the ability this set card is destroyed by a card effect. You get to special summon an Unchained monster from the deck, which is super good for this deck. And then we play 3 copies of the Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, which this card, it actually just lets us special summon an Unchained from our hand or graveyard. And if it's destroyed, then you get to special summon out from your deck another copy of an Unchained monster, which is really good. Basically, with both of these cards, you're always going to get a special summon because you're either going to pop and then get a special summon, or you're just going to revive a monster and get a special summon. And if your opponent pops either one of these, or you destroy them, which sometimes in the combo you will destroy them, you will get additional special summons from the deck as well. So these cards are always pluses in the deck, which is why I play them both at 3. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. Trouble Sunny is an insanely good card in this deck. It is a Fiend monster, and just about everything we're playing in the extra deck is Fiends. So this is a very important card for the deck. It is a Link 4. You're always going to be using your Evil Twins, Kill, and Lilla to summon this card, because it does require an Evil Twins monster, and it has the ability to quick effect tribute this card to special summon out a Kill monster and up to 1 Lilla monster from your graveyard. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to send an Evil Twin monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard, or your deck to the graveyard, to send 1 card on the field to the graveyard, and you can only use each effect of this card once per turn, which is a really awesome effect just to be able to tag this card out into your copies of your Kill and Lilla, which will actually activate both of their effects to get you a draw and a pop on the field, which is really good to activate during your opponent's turn, and it gives you a 33 attack point boss monster as well. We then play 2 copies of Kill. Kill is really good because if this card is special summon and you control a Lilla monster, you can draw a card, and if you don't control Lilla, then you can quick effect special summon a Lilla monster from the graveyard, which is really good, but you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for Fiends, which all we pretty much play is Fiends anyways, so that restriction never really comes up in this build. We then play 2 copies of Lila. Lila basically does the same thing, except you don't get to draw a card, you get to pop a card on the field, which comes in very handy when we're trying to pop our Unchained cards, which is one of the big synergies of the deck, is using Lila to actually pop cards on our side of the field during first turn to special summon additional cards, which you guys will definitely see in the test hands. We then play 2 copies of Unchained Soul of Rage. This card is a great card. You just need 2 of it in this particular build. This card lets us link summon using our opponent's monsters that were special summon, and then we can link climb into another Dark XZ monster, which is really helpful. So one of the Dark XZ monsters we can actually link into is Unchained Soul of Anguish, which isn't a quick effect, unfortunately, to link summon and climb using an opponent's monster. But you can use this card to link summon using an opponent's monster during your turn to climb into an additional Unchained monster or a Dark XZ card. So this card comes in very handy in this deck. We then play just a single copy of the Unchained Abomination. This card you can make really easily in this deck and can pop up to 3 cards per turn, which is really cool, because if a card's on the field is destroyed by a card effect, except by Unchained Abomination, then you can target a card on the field and destroy it. When another monster is destroyed by battle, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. And then during the end phase, just because you can, we destroy another card during the end phase. So this card can destroy up to 3 cards per turn. The link arrows are absolutely incredible on this card, and the effects of just being able to link summon and link climb into this card with Rage, Anguish, and then finally into the Abomination is super easy. We then play a full Nightmare package in the deck, which is a single copy of Griffin. Griffin is great in this deck as an alternative boss monster that if this card is link summoned, you can discard a card to be able to set a spell or trap in the graveyard to your side of the field, but it can't be activated this turn. And if this card was co-linked, when an effect was activated, you get to draw a card, and you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. And then special summon monsters on the field cannot activate their effects unless they are linked, which is very important about this card because it basically can skill drain your opponent. We then play a single copy of Unicorn because Unicorn can spin stuff, 1 copy of Phoenix because it can pop spells and traps, and a single copy of Cerberus to pop monsters. So this deck is a really awesome deck and can actually play a full Nightmare package, which is really amazing because they're all fiends. And you guys will notice with this entire extra deck, everything is fiends. The only thing that you have to keep in mind as you're playing this deck, which you guys will definitely see in the test hands, is that the copies of your evil twins in the main deck are Cyverse and Aqua. So keep that in mind as you're playing the deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoy it. It's a really fun deck to play around with. I love the way it plays. It's super cool, especially with Troubled Sunny. I'm really glad that Jin actually suggested these 2 archetypes to be combined together because I've actually never profiled them together. I've done them a lot of times separately, but I've never profiled them together, and they are incredible together. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.